Ladies and gentlemen, the Democrat Party has really gone and done it this time. I tell you, get this. Now you have the Congressional Black Caucus along with the NAACP. They're urging black student athletes to boycott Southern schools, specifically in the SEC. Now, of course, all of this is a reaction to the Supreme Court striking down Democrats' ability to maintain their racially drawn maps. So they are highly upset in this ongoing redistricting battle where you have the left, they're taking one massive L after another, after another, after another. And so as a result, they've chosen to go all in on the racial scare tactics and propaganda messaging toward the black community. As always, if you do enjoy the content, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. That's the best way to let me know, and subscribe to stay locked in with all the future content. Let's start right here.
Student athletes and fans to boycott college sports programs in the South. This in response to red state redistricting.
Ridiculous. Griff Jenkins joins us live from Washington with the details. Good morning, Griff.
Yeah, good morning, fellas. Hey, so much for sports transcending politics because the Congressional Black Caucus and the NAACP are now urging black college athletes to boycott state schools in southern states. Take a look here. You can see in the list, it's particularly SEC programs, and they're doing it over GOP-led gerrymandering of congressional maps following that Supreme Court ruling on the Voting Rights Act with the House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries leading the charge.
In the absence of fairness as it relates to black political representation, there should be no athletic participation as it relates to institutions that are housed in states that are experiencing a dramatic return to racially oppressive Jim Crow-like tactics.
The NAACP issuing a statement saying the NAACP will not watch the same institutions that depend on black athletic prowess to fill their stadiums and their bank accounts remain silent while their states strip black communities of their voices. Now, this so-called out-of-bounds campaign targets athletic programs that generate over $100 million annually, and it's pushing athletes to delay commitments and coaches and athletic directors to take a public stance. Jack Brewer had this reaction earlier this morning.
I think this is ridiculous. I mean, you see them pandering to race, and you're putting into these young black boys' minds that they're victims.
It's really, truly fascinating to watch how Democrats work overtime to manipulate and use the black community as political pawns in order to maintain their power, while simultaneously, we understand, not delivering anything of real substance to said community. And so now they're coming out saying they want black athletes to boycott, ladies and gentlemen, Southern schools, specifically the SEC, and forfeit NIL money, scholarships, and opportunities, all that to benefit the Democrat Party. And they're dressing it up as red states are taking away voting rights from their parents, their grandparents, aunties, and uncles. Listen, I knew Democrats enjoy a good race hustle. Listen, I knew it, but my goodness, this is truly sickening. Here's Hakeem Jeffries.
This is an unprecedented moment featuring an unprecedented attack on black political representation, and therefore it requires an unprecedented response.
That's right.
We are here standing in solidarity with the NAACP and its call for athletes to boycott institutions within the SEC that belong to states that have unleashed these Jim Crow-like racially oppressive tactics, which is unacceptable, unconscionable, and un-American. And we believe that the silence of these institutions is complicity.
That's right.
And we will not stand for it.
Hakeem Jeffries, why stop at black college athletes in the SEC and boycotting? I mean, why not tell black professors who work at these so-called racist institutions that help fund these racist red states that are suddenly oppressing black people? Why not tell the black professors, hey, you should not work there, boycott, your tax money is paying taxes that fund these racist states and these racist institutions that are complicit? According to Hakeem Jeffries' logic, why does it have to end with just black college athletes who's an 18-year-old trying to figure things out, get an education, and hopefully maybe 1% of them have a long shot at making it to the league? I'll tell you why. Because it's easy to control and manipulate. But let's go to the NAACP president and hear what he had to say. Check it out.
No representation, no revenue, no one black should be on a playing field of institutions that's living off of our labor, and yet in states that are seeking to reinstitute a sharecropping reality. It is not the responsibility of Black America to hold individuals who should know better accountable for doing better. As soon as the United States Congress stand united to ensure our Constitution represent all of us, we will be a better nation as a result.
While it's easy to control and manipulate the black community using race, it's 10 times easier to control and manipulate a 17, 18, 19-year-old fresh out of high school, going to college who, let's be honest, probably is not too politically savvy. Most young adults, I don't care in general, are not really politically savvy. That's just not the norm. They're busy doing what you do at that age, which is usually not connected to a lot of politics. It's easy to say, hey, this is what you should be doing because you're oppressed and they are your oppressor. And so you should not allow yourself to be oppressed, and this is how you do it. When in reality, all you're really watching is, in this case, black Democrats in power, along with the NAACP, search for a way to hold on to that power at whatever cost.
And for us to get through this moment of backlash and usher in a new era of progress, as has been done by generations in the past, it's going to require character, it's going to require courage, and it's going to require conviction. This is a Bill Russell moment.
That's right. That's right.
It's a Muhammad Ali moment.
That's right.
And it's a Jackie Robinson moment.
That's right.
And we're going to stand together to make sure we bring about the type of country that the African American community deserves and that everyone in the United States of America deserves. And so if you believe in a multiracial democracy, join us. If you believe in free and fair elections, join us. And if you believe in fair black political representation in the South and all across America, join us.
Yeah, we know that this has nothing to do with black political representation, no matter how much Democrats say it, because if you are a black Republican, you do not count. Matter of fact, you can be a white Democrat and count more than a black Republican, right? And so let's go to CNN and hear what they had to say. Check it out.
This issue, given your unique personal journey and having been an athlete in the SEC and now.
Yeah, I think, first of all, we have to acknowledge the hypocrisy of these states that use black bodies as economic engines on Saturdays, and on Sundays they're taking away their votes of their meemaws, of their big mamas, of all their family members. So that part of it is real. That part of it we cannot deny. Also, at the same time, I think it's really rough to speak out to these 18-year-olds and ask them to make these decisions. When I was 18, I was 17 actually, to make the decision. I had studied so hard and so long to figure out what it was for me to get to Tennessee, and then not only that, but the main pipeline to get to the NFL. So my main mission at that age was trying to get to the NFL. I think it's really difficult. These are real issues that need to be addressed, but I think it's difficult for me to push on these 18-year-olds, these 19-year-olds to get them to make a decision of this magnitude at such a young age.
Yeah, why are they not telling pro athletes to boycott the professional NBA, NFL teams, Major League Baseball teams, black athletes? These guys, at least they got the millions of dollars where they can afford to do it. They are also living in the same states where these college athletes are going to school. Matter of fact, they're paying a bunch of taxes that are going to these states that are supposedly evil. And so the real question is, how much do you have to not care about the people you claim you are representing, where you want them to sacrifice themselves while you reap all the benefits from it? That's what's so dirty about this. The fact that they do not care because they can tell these young adults what to say, how to think, trigger them with the race hustle game, and have them believe they are victims. But you know what? This is a perfect example of that. Let's go to New Nation. Take a listen.
You guys made this announcement today. Tell me exactly what you're trying to do here.
Yeah, the Out of Bounds campaign is more than sports. It's about power. It's about ownership. It's about accountability. Black athletes have helped build college athletics into a multi-billion-dollar industry, especially in football and basketball, as we pointed out here. Yet many of those same states are benefiting from Black talent, are actively working to weaken Black political representation and voting power. For generations, we know that Black athletes have carried the weight of college athletics on their backs. And this is a moment for us to realize that power we bring into those institutions can be used to protect our communities, our voices, and our future. Universities cannot continue to profit from Black talent, celebrate Black culture, and recruit Black students aggressively while remaining silent when those same students' rights are under attack.
Why focus on the students? For example, I saw LSU on that list. There's no mention of players who play for the New Orleans Saints, for example, with the National Football League, or the University of Georgia was on that list. And in Georgia, you have the Atlanta Hawks in the NBA, or the Falcons in the NFL, the Braves in Major League Baseball. Why the students here? And what would you say to the Attorney General there in South Carolina, who says they are being used for political gain?
This is about ownership. As young Black athletes must recognize that their talents has value far beyond a field or a court. Their influence moves culture, economics, and yes, it moves politics. States cannot celebrate Black excellence on a Saturday while silencing Black communities on a Tuesday at the ballot box. Those same communities that produce these elite athletes are the communities fighting for fair representation, equitable schools, and a democratic process that works for us all. Out of Bounds, this campaign is a redirection of that power. If Black talent can build these programs, Black talent as well we can control how that accountability looks like.
Clearly, he's reading from the Democrat handbook because he did not even answer the question. But that's expected because this is not about Black political power or representation. It is only about Democrats losing safe seats. And now they're pissed and searching for any and every way to try and flip things back into their favor. Because when you have a Black Republican woman, like Charlotte Bergman, who has been running to represent the same Memphis district that a white Democrat, Steve Cohen, represented, which was majority Black, yes, suddenly the Black representation chant goes silent.
Here is white Steve Cohen saying they're colonizing his district. Here are Democrats freaking out about the prospect, I guess, of a white man no longer representing a Black majority district. And here you are. You're one of the leading candidates in the newly redrawn district, and you're Black.
I certainly am. And I'll tell you what, many of my supporters are still celebrating because Cohen has dropped out. You see, he never did anything really for the average person in the community. People are paying high food prices. People are walking outside in many instances and getting shot. They want safety in their community. People are tired of paying high taxes, losing their freedoms to government. Hey, I'm here, and people are going to receive the things that they want, and they're tired of being called racist. And in Tennessee, we don't play that. And I just have a word for AOC. If you think you can come down to the South, pull up in the South, girl, you are in trouble. We do not play down here.
I hear you. That is AOC saying the North ought to pull up to the South.
So here's where I'll leave it. What have Democrats done for urban communities, urban cities like Memphis? I mean, it took the president, if we remember, sending in federal troops before you had Black parents saying, this was the first time. They were on the news literally saying this was the first time I ever let my kids play outside. Democrats didn't care to do anything about that. That was the president who did that. And so while you got Democrat leaders who simply look to take from the Black community, what have they actually given back in return? But those are my thoughts in the update. Now I want to hear from you. Drop your comment down below. I appreciate when you guys chime in. Don't forget, enjoy that content, smash that thumbs up. For more, subscribe to the channel. And as always, until next time.